I was petty to an old boss who told me my dying uncle was just an uncle. So this happened like 6 years ago when I worked at this family-owned nursing home. The place was run by this woman, Carol, who acted like she owned everyone who worked there. I was working as a healthcare aide, doing all the dirty work, changing bedpans, feeding residents, helping them shower, you know, the stuff that actually matters but nobody wants to do. Anyway, I get this call at work from my Aunt Sarah. She's crying so hard I can barely understand her. My Uncle Mike had gone in for heart surgery, triple bypass, should have been routine. But something went wrong. He got an infection and now he's on life support. The doctors are saying we need to prepare for the worst. My aunt's begging me to come to the hospital. It's 2 hours away, but she wants all the family there to say goodbye. This is my dad's brother we're talking about, the guy who taught me how to ride a bike, who came to every single one of my soccer games growing up. So I go find Carol in her office. I'm trying to stay calm, but I'm freaking out inside. I explain what happened with my uncle and that I need to leave for a family emergency. Carol doesn't even look up from her computer. She just goes, "Sorry, but we're short-staffed today. You can't leave." I'm like, "Carol, my uncle is literally dying. The doctors don't think he's going to make it through the night." That's when she finally looks at me, and with the most cold, heartless expression I've ever seen, she shrugs and goes, "It's just an uncle. Just an uncle." Like he's some distant relative I barely know, instead of someone who was basically a second father to me. I was so shocked I couldn't even respond. I just stood there staring at her. Then I grabbed my purse and walked out. My uncle passed away that night. I got to hold his hand and tell him I loved him before he went, but I'll never forget how Carol tried to keep me from being there. The next week, Carol calls me into her office. She wants me to falsify some Medicare documentation, basically commit fraud to make the nursing home more money. I tell her absolutely not. That's when she fires me, says I'm not a team player and that my attitude problem is affecting the workplace. Whatever. I found a job at the local hospital a few weeks later. Better pay, better hours, better everything. Fast forward 3 years. I'm working the night shift in the cardiac unit when this familiar face walks past the nurse's station. It's Carol. She looks terrible, like she hasn't slept in days. Her hair's a mess and she's clearly been crying. I ask one of the other nurses what's going on. Turns out Carol's uncle is in room 314. He's 89 years old and his body is just shutting down. They moved him to Comfort Care. Carol's been here for 2 days straight, barely leaving his bedside. She keeps asking the doctors if there's anything else they can do, but everyone knows this is it. The next morning, I'm doing my rounds when I see Carol standing outside room 314. She's on the phone with someone, probably family, telling them to come quick. She hangs up and just stands there staring at the door. She looks absolutely broken. That's when I walk over. I put my hand on her shoulder, just like she's a worried family member who needs comfort. She looks up at me with these red, puffy eyes. For a second, I don't think she recognizes me. Then I lean in close and whisper, "Hey Carol, it's just an uncle." Her face went from confused to shocked to absolutely furious in about 2 seconds, but I was already walking away, heading to the nurse's station to finish my charting. You should have seen her face. Priceless.